Hey guys, this is James and Tim with Tabletop Terrors. Today we have a Splatbook Roulette with a very special book. Volo's is how I say it. I heard you say something different.
Volo. Volo's Guide?
Volo's Guide to Monsters is how I say it. Do you think Volo? You want to make a bid for Volo?
Let's find out after the break.
Or no, but really.
A bid for Volo?
Yeah, like Volo or Volo.
I would...
I need you to place your bets here
Volo.
on camera, in front of the world.
I guess Volo.
Oh man, you were getting close to the wrong word.
Volo. Hold on, I'm thinking of other words that sound like that.
I know.
Volo's Guide.
We are doing a Splatbook Roulette, so instead of flipping through to the page we've already bookmarked, we're going to put it down so that you people don't know that.
What a liar.
Oh, man.
First these.
I don't think I liked this before. Kind of love it right now.
It's amazing.
All right. Break this book open, because you always ruin my books.
I know.
It's my turn to ruin your book.
So, I'm going to probably have to... Actually, I want to make sure everybody sees this before we get cooking here. You probably can't see it, but
you will not be able to see it.
The binding is already kind of coming out of here, and I was really bummed
rough
about
stuff.
that.
Yeah, I hope. Oh, cool cover inside the cover though.
So yeah,
Like inside they show you the whole art.
Oh yeah.
That's cool. That's cool.
That
It's very cool. Volo.
totally. So Splatbook Roulette it's about RPG inspiration. So what we're gonna do is in 5 minutes or less, we'll give you No. In 5 minutes or less, we're going to give you some inspiration for something you can use at your table, hopefully some good ideas. But the caveat is that we flip to a random page. So we don't prep for this. It's purely improvisational.
I also have not looked through this. We flipped through it very briefly before, like just a moment ago, but like literally flipped through. And so this is going to be interesting.
Yeah, dude. So I started reading it. I'm excited. So I think you... Should I start the timer and you be the flipper?
Nope.
Okay.
Sorry.
Stranger Things. All right. Are you ready?
I am.
Okay.
Wait, I'm not ready.
Well, you got to start the thing.
Yeah, after you flip a page.
No, you start.
You
we
take
start
like
at the same
30
time.
seconds to
All right.
flip to a page.
I know.
All right, ready?
Yeah.
Go.
I promised him I would do what I do to his books.
5 seconds gone. When I interrupt you at the end, wow, we did not come on a monster. I'm so happy about that.
Reluctant Little Tyrants. Page 49 of the Volo's Guide to Monsters. It's talking about goblins. No,
Little
hobgoblins.
Little tyrants. Little green tyrants, buddy.
Little green tyrants. One of the first steps. Yep, hobgoblins. So basically what it says is one of the first steps hobgoblins take when a tribe of goblins joins the host is to train the gatherers and the pariahs as soldiers.
Effectively elevating those goblins to where the glare is. Elevating those goblins' status to that of hunters.
Perfect.
So, first of all... No, go ahead.
No,
Say real
I
stuff.
have nothing.
Well, okay, what I was going to say is I think it's really cool that this wasn't a monster. I was under the impression that this book was different. I'm sorry, I'm talking fast, but we're on a time limit! Okay, so this has to do with goblin tribes.
It does.
So I like the idea. A lot of times people throw goblins at their players. Hey, there's 3 goblins. And you're like, what the hell are those goblins doing there? This looks like it's about goblin fortresses, so I think that it would be really cool if you, in your game, like, there was a region of where goblins live. Usually they, in my games, and a lot of games I see, they live in caves or they live, like, in dilapidated places.
You know where they live in most campaigns?
Where?
Wherever the players are.
Wherever the players are. There's a couple.
I need 3 minions that I know for this first encounter aren't going to kill the players, but I need them to slow them down and take a couple of hit points.
Exactly, and probably say funny things and be short and stuff like that. But I love the idea of having, like, no, that's where the goblins live, and we don't have the forces to take their stronghold. There's a really cool picture of a stronghold on page 48 of Volo's Guide to Volo's Monsters. So, Reluctant Little Tyrants, let's see. Why are they that?
The thing that
Go ahead,
stands
I'm
out
gonna
to
read
me
while
is
you
them
talk.
being reluctant. So here's what I think. And I like this because what are goblins? They tend to be disposable, as we were kind of talking about. So to me, the big push here is I think you start off the session. You start off the session by framing this somehow. And it could be as simple as you essentially show a hobgoblin war master making these goblins initiate themselves.
Yeah.
Okay, why do goblins always jump out of the bushes at player characters?
Initiation, man.
Now it's because they're
being
initiating.
press ganged, basically.
They would not do that.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, they look strong. So you see this hobgoblin who's basically like, like, you must spill the blood of, give them some kind of a specific goal. And it's like, if any of you comes back without the, the blood of the, heroes on your hands, you will be executed, or whatever it is. So now, in a weird way, meta, the players are feeling for the goblins.
Exactly.
I like that idea.
Yeah, the goblins are not necessarily, in this particular case, they don't hate the players. They have nothing against the players. But they have to. They're basically slaves, is basically what this is saying. Is
right.
They're pushed into service. Turn it on its ear. Crazy. And I mean, this seems like the obvious next step. Run a game where your players are goblins that are press ganged into fighting for these goblin tyrants.
I'm thinking super great way to use Volo's volleyball guide. To run a monstrous one-shot. I have the itchiest armpit. You're probably going to see me itch it this whole video. I don't know why. It's so itchy.
Give me some
I don't have
baby.
the time for this. I don't have the time. But here's the other thing I was going to say. And this is what you can use at your table. Because some game masters, their style isn't conducive to that narrative play. Mm-hmm. Have the players play the goblins just to change things up.
Oh, yeah, like for part of it.
And then essentially have them say, okay, you play those goblins. Go ahead. Get there.
What if at the beginning they start as goblins, and then there's like these people they have to ambush, and they jump out, and then the players switch to the characters they've created.
Bingo.
And now they have to kill the players that they basically just built this narrative about. Yeah, same page. That's beautiful. I love that.
To me, that is your Splatbook Roulette.
You know what? This would be kind of messed up. But if you really wanted to push that, say it's a goblin monstrous one-shot, and then give the characters pre-gen. Like, they jump out of the bushes, you're like, okay, no, I lied. We're a liar. I would prepare them that something is going to be crazy. But I'd be like, all right, now here's your things.
So, yeah. So that is how you use Reluctant Little Tyrants at your table, Volo's Guide to Monsters, Volo's, Splatbook Roulette. Barker said he likes to see us fail, so do you want to fail and talk about something else?
I think that for the next 4 seconds, I can basically finish this sentence and boom! No, we were good. We did it. I am really happy about this book. I heard a lot about it. I was in New Mexico when it released. I actually had the chance to buy it. It was sitting on the shelf, but I bought a board game to play instead.
Sure.
But I am really happy that they went that way with it.
So
if they released a Monster Manual 2, which they've done in the past for basically every edition, I think that'd be cool, but I would just read yours. I think I'm going to get this book.
Yeah, I actually strongly suggest it.
Because it does seem to just have a bunch of monsters in it as well. It's also a Monster Manual.
So in 60 seconds or less here, I'll give you a quick kind of like, they go very in-depth for a few of the more like tentpole D&D monsters.
Beholders, I see heroes, yeah.
And then, look at this beautiful map. It's just incredible. And then they do that for several monsters. And so it's beholders, gnolls, hags, goblinoids. And then after that, they talk about player characters. So this is the Mind Flayer section.
Oh, okay, yeah, I see that.
So I do want to bring up something that I've heard as a critique from some people, which the reason why I don't think it's a fair critique is because you can omit it.
Yeah.
They go into detail, especially with the gnolls and the illithids, the Mind Flayers, really, really in depth, tying them to, especially the gnolls, they tie them to deities. But one person complained that when you quantify something as cryptic and interesting as a Mind Flayer in such mundane, they do X, they do Y, here's this.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
It can take
could take away from it.
Yeah, the sense of wonder. You don't have to use all of it.
Yeah, it's like I would rather have that and not use it than wonder.
Right.
I'm sure that's for somebody. I agree that I would probably not use all of that.
Sure.
But I'm sure it's a ton of really cool inspiration.
It is. And then after that, they essentially go through an adventurers section. They have Kenku, lizard folk, various different...
That is another thing I thought was really cool.
Super
cool.
cool.
The monstrous...
I want to show you
classes.
right now my favorite breakout box in the book that I found thus far, because I've done the flip through and read, and page 111. Role-playing a Kenku. Now, if you know what a Kenku is, it's like a raven person that can't speak.
It's like a humanoid, yeah.
This is just the kind of stuff that I love when a game designer shares this very obvious but sometimes missed piece of information. If you're role-playing a Kenku, it basically says, constant attempts to mimic sounds is going to get annoying.
Yeah.
So why don't you describe what the sound sounds like? For instance, Snapper makes the noise of a hammer, slowly and rhythmically tapping into a stone to show how bored he is.
Sort of role play like a book. You don't hear the sound of a book.
Correct. And I thought,
you're not on the hook for making all the sounds that Kenku makes. And it also, if you're playing a group of Kenku, isn't just like a bunch of weird sounds.
Woo!
I didn't think about that.
It's like Mel Blanc from the Looney Tunes. It's like, anyway, and then, the book rounds out with a bunch of new monsters, which some are brand new to 5th edition. Some are classic monsters, and then some are just more in-depth versions. Like there's a bunch of gnolls, a bunch of hags,
as
a
always,
bunch of giants.
more art for the same. Oh my
Gorgeous
god,
art.
the grung!
Isn't that
Those
amazing?
look so cool.
Just little. The grungs are like these little tree frog warriors.
They're little frog people. I want to
So-
run a grung game.
So I would suggest it. It's like this is the variant cover. It's really gorgeous. It's funny. I've seen so many of these that I'm starting to believe that the other cover is going to be the more rare one.
Yeah, no, that's a good point.
But yeah, that's Volo's Guide to Monsters. This has been Splatbook Roulette. Hey, if you liked this, even halfway, throw us a subscribe. And
Or like Subway, Wawa, any of those do.
yeah, instead of buying us an energy drink, feed me. I'm Tim. This is James. Thanks so much for watching. And until next time, may your dice roll high.